Two things inspired me to start learning how to play bass guitar. One, the YouTuber Davey504, and two, the song The Less I Know the Better by Tame Impala off their 2015 album Currents. Since I can't magically grow almost 1.5 feet and become Italian like Davey, it seems much more manageable to honor my almost 1-year bass-iversary by just learning the song. And it is the finale lesson of my online lessons, and I am miserably bad at it because I skipped all the instruction because it was confusing me and stressing me out. So this is my best attempt, and here's what it sounds like. In all of these clips, I'm standing in front of my closet in my bedroom, playing my black and white bass guitar with my fingers and no pick. The bass has a small sticker of the rock and roll Pokemon Toxtricity, as well as a piece of tape under the strings labeled G, D, A, E, so I can, remember the order they go in. I decided to start learning this song right before I left to stage manage for 8 weeks, so this practice on September 5th would be the last before November 3rd. Yeah. My Fender bass came with access to the Fender Play online learning module, so I'm using their tutorial, which currently shows the hand positioning for the riff. The lessons are very thorough, and sometimes I get pretty overwhelmed by them.
4th fret of the A string and 6th fret of the D and G. Let's take a look at bar 5. I'll go ahead and play through it slowly. So we have 1, 2, 3, and
What note are you on? So I'm just gonna try it. The track I'm playing along to here is Fender Play's practice track. It gives you the bass line and some quieter guitars and drums, so you can feel like you're actually part of the song. Despite quickly growing frustrated by all of the verbal instruction, I can usually struggle my way through a practice track because it makes much more sense to me to just jump into the music that I'm already familiar with. Anyway, things sound okay here, mostly because you're hearing the backing track bass. During my next practice, I tried the feedback feature, which does not include the backing bass. Okay, I've just been practicing for a few minutes. Here I have feedback mode, which is going to actually listen to me and give me a rating based on how I did. So, let's do it, I guess. Good God. Okay. It seems you played a few 81. I really doubt it. On November 9th, I tried to play what I could from memory. I also put a little more work into the chorus, not just the riff. The notes are getting there, but something's off. This song is meant to be played with a pick, and I think actually it was originally recorded on a guitar that was tuned down, so I'm not getting the same sound. I really don't like playing with a pick. Much like how I almost refuse to do static pull because it feels more limiting than spin pull, playing with a pick feels like it restricts the little walkabout my strumming hand naturally wants to take along the strings. One thing I focused on this time was the slides, of which there are many in this song. They just sound really buzzy right now, and I need to figure out the right pressure to apply to the strings to get them less buzzy. I'm also figuring out how high up on the neck to start the slide, what I have time for, etc., and then it was back to practice mode. On November 12th, I focused on the very first, very fast riff that plays at the top of the song. Then I tried cranking it up to see if the noise would override the buzz and sort of cover up my lacking technique. I also switched it to overdrive to try to bring in some of the distortion that makes the original song so iconic. I am pretty sensitive to noise, so my loud-ass rock and roll was making me anxious, but my quiet-ass rock and roll sounded bad. Ugh. It's so buzzy. Okay, I only played for 26% of the song, and it still gave me a 69. Nice. So I think that they are a little too generous with their scoring. I'm getting so tired of this song. I'm so tired of this song. Moments before this, I had also burned my fingers on a super cold bowl in the freezer, so in case you're wondering, these already painful slides felt horrible. It's like... Oh, no, I actually did just cut myself. Okay. I actually have a pick in my hand. Okay, yeah, it does make this strumming sound more powerful, but I just get this little bastard stuck between the strings and have to spend so much time thinking about where the pick is instead of just letting my fingers walk around and ugh. And if I'm holding the pick wrong, please just keep that to yourself. I never use one, okay? Even my camera is tired of this. Jeez. Oh my gosh. Just, please. Here, the bass is overdriven and turned up. With the volume cranked up, I can tell the strings keep ringing out after I've played the notes that I need, which means I need to be muting them with one of my hands, but I'm already focusing on the other 1,000 things I need to do. My dad walks into the room, waves at the camera, and bobs his head. It is starting to sound okay, but one thing that's important for me here is to actually get this right, to get proficient enough that I can play along with the real song. I've recorded some cute little videos for Instagram before where I just want to put them out as quick as possible even if they kind of sound bad, and I don't want to do that with this song. For example, here was my best take that will not be seeing the light of Instagram this time. I'd like to know more, but like, honestly, the less I know, the better. Close enough. I'm simply not leaving this room until I'm good at this song. The loudness of the bass triggered a really bad wave of anxiety for Kelsey because her brain hates fun, so she, in fact, left the room before getting good at this song. On November 18th, I was less anxious, thank goodness. Plus, I hung up some cute Christmas lights to make my practice sessions a little more magical. It actually sounds like it's almost there, and I'll just need to run through it a bunch of times to fine-tune it. But I think you get the gist at this point, so why don't I just skip forward until the day I get it right? Here we are, recorded in one take, my cover of Tame Impala's The Less I Know the Better. subscribe button appears on the right, a suggested video and playlist appear on the left.